Hi, my name is Heather Coonrod, and I just wanted to give a little introduction about myself. I'm a home health RN who's taking this class to finish up a transfer AA. I started WSU on August 22nd, which I realize creates a little bit of an overlap, but I tend to be one of those people who just gets things done, or at least thinks that I can, and deals with the consequences. I had a little trouble coming up with a funny story about me, but I think the one that I came up with definitely demonstrates who I am and how I can just kind of get things done. I live in Wenatchee, Washington, which is an area that has the Wenatchee River confluences with the Columbia River, and so there's a lot of water sports available. And the Wenatchee River is known for tubing and rafting, and this is something that I had always wanted to do but never had an opportunity to do before. So a few years ago, on the 4th of July, a friend of mine and I went and got tubes from the local tire supply store, not ones meant for a river, and thought that we could make it from Leavenworth to Wenatchee on the river in our inner tubes. We didn't do a lot of research, but we heard that other people tubed the river, and so we figured we could. We packed lunches, sunscreen, our cell phones, cameras, flip-flops, and we had string to tie everything off to our tubes, and we headed out on the river. We noticed at one point that there was nobody else on the river for a spot. The people who were with us before had all gotten out, and we didn't know why. About that time we got stuck, hit some pretty big rapids, flipped several times, and we finally came to the conclusion that we were falling so much because we had brought too much stuff to carry and not an extra tube. So we gave away everything we had on the river pretty much. We gave away our cooler, our lunches. We kept with us, obviously our electronics in our dry bag and our beverages, and that was it, and gave everything else away so that we could hold on to our tubes. Another afterthought was that we wanted to get a little color before we put on sunscreen. And that's the day that I learned that waterproof sunscreen is only waterproof if it dries first. Some things we hadn't considered. One is that there is a dam on the river between Leavenworth and Wenatchee that we were unaware of. Another thing is that the speed that you move down the river is not the speed at which you drive the highway. So after 9 hours of being stuck on the river, there was an incident where my friend had leeches on her in a specific spot on her body, and I had to pull them off because there was nothing else we could do. We were stuck on the river. And a lot of flips. I broke my tailbone, some sunscreen, lack of issues, so we were really red. And I have to tell you, it was one of the funnest things that I've ever experienced, even though 9 hours into the trip, we hauled ourselves out of the dam, called for a rescue, and somebody had to come get us and drive us to our cars because we were miles from either car. We were back out there the next week tubing with a little bit more information, not planning such a big tube, and being properly prepared to do it right the next time. Anyway, the reason I tell that story is it depicts how I just sometimes jump into things without planning, but generally we're able to make them work out and stay positive regardless of what happens along the way. Thanks.